Okay, we're going to be making a quilt storyboard. As you can see here, we have our first key point of Smokey Mountain Rose, the Appalachian Cinderella, and it's that her and her father and her stepmother get married. And then we have another key point, which is the pig, who is the fairy godmother in that story. But right now we're missing this key point, so that's what we're going to be making today. We're going to start off with a full piece of construction paper. Now this is a little large for the board, so the first thing you're going to want to do is take your ruler or your measuring tape. You're going to measure 1 inch off each side. You'll mark that with your pencil. Then we're going to draw straight lines down. And then you're going to take your paper and you're going to go ahead and cut these 1 inch margins off. You're going to end up with a piece of paper that looks a little bit like this. And this is going to fit on our storyboards where we have a little bit of a border room to it, and it fits very nicely. Next thing we're going to do is we've already sketched out what kind of key point we want, and this is going to be the invitation to the dance. So this is our background. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a yellow piece of paper like this, and we're going to cut out our scroll or our letter of invite. And after we cut that out, we can kind of just scribble the design we want on there to make it look like a piece of paper. We're going to cut that out and we're going to have this. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to want to glue our invite onto our background. We'll take our glue stick, go ahead and pop that off. And we'll give this a good coat of glue on the back. Make sure you get all your corners. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and we're going to position our invite right in the middle of that background. Alright, now this looks pretty bare and we can't actually tell that this is an invite. So we're going to add a little sprucing up to it. I'm going to take some orange paper here and let's kind of make some little tassel curlicues for the end of that invite. And we're just kind of going to use our imagination a little bit. Make some curlicues here. We can go ahead and we can glue those on. Alright, and you should already have this planned out with your sketch, so it shouldn't be that hard. Alright, there we go. How about we do maybe some little sparkles everywhere, because this ball was a big deal for these girls. Do something like that. It's a big announcement, and then we don't want to really have any words on here, so how are we going to let them know that this is an invite to a dance? Well, maybe we can take some red paper here and let's see about trying to put a shoe or some kind of dance on it. So let's do a pair of boots. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of sketch out our pair of boots here. Put a little heel on them. Now those look like some awesome boots. We can just cut that out. We got ourselves a pretty good looking pair of boots there, so we can go ahead and glue these on. It's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and glue our details on. Alright, and a lot of times quilt blocks have some kind of border with them. So since this is looking pretty sparse, let's go ahead and see about putting a border on it. Go ahead and use this orange again. I'm just going to cut a strip from this orange. And now that we know that we already cut a little bit of paper off, but luckily this still fits good, I'm going to go ahead and just put this border here. And lots of glue. There's that. And quilts are completely up to the person who makes them. So if we don't want to put a full border on there, we don't. I'm thinking we just put kind of a border on the bottom and that side, kind of give it a little bit of individuality. Maybe something like that. Alright, so not only have we used a couple of the details from quilting using layering and fitting our pieces together, we've also used a bit of symbolism with the shoes and a little bit of creativity by putting the border in and the little pieces on the front of the note. So now it's time to glue our quilt block to our storyboard. So we're just going to pull the storyboard out. And this quilt block's going to fit right in the middle of that storyboard. And first we've got to layer the back of it down with glue. So you can never use too much glue if it's on a stick. Make sure we get those corners in. And I'm just going to position it right in the middle of everything else. Fantastic. And everything goes together. Now we've got our first, second, and third key points. And for the rest of the class, as everybody brings theirs up to me, we're going to have our fourth, fifth, and sixth. And then when we're finished, we're going to tell the story using the storyboard of the Smoky Mountain Rose. That's an Appalachian Cinderella.